George Washington, Anne Frank, Martin Luther King Jr., Gloria Steinem, Albert Einstein, Malala Yousafzai, and Amanda Gaines. Yeah, I definitely know what you're thinking right now. Amanda Gaines on the same list as some of the world's most memorable changemakers? Yep, you thought right. From the rudimentary leadership courses to the advanced leadership seminar within the University of Maryland's Leadership Studies minor, I, Amanda Gaines, can declare myself a leader just as much as President Barack Obama can. Throughout my leadership experience, I have learned that there is no universally accepted how-to guide on how to become a successful leader. We know who the great leaders are, but we are at a loss for words when we have to describe what great leadership is. With over 1,500 documented definitions of the word leadership, it's obvious that there is no single explanation of the phenomena that applies to everyone, let alone myself. My idea of leadership mirrors Warren Bennis's, who said, "Leadership is what the French call a portmanteau field, a field with many variables. To me, these variables include self-awareness, desire to inspire, willingness to achieve visions, and awareness of both strengths and weaknesses. It is the use of one's past experience and current strengths to inspire others and make positive change. Contrary to popular belief, leadership is not about holding temporary titles, but it is about one's behavior and how they display their skills and abilities to others." In their text, Developmental Leadership Accelerating Leader Development, Avolio and Hannah discuss the common question, are leaders born or are they made? Their research and analysis showed that leadership is not instilled in one's DNA, but rather blossoms from their experiences. That is how I believe my leadership developed, and I have my older brother Justin to thank for that. Justin was born with severe autism. Due to this chromosomal abnormality, he doesn't act like the typical 24-year-old does. For starters, he lacks the regular communication skills that enable people to have common face-to-face conversations. Instead of forming sentences to use for verbal expression, he will blurt out a handful of words to get his point across. Growing up, Justin both served as my best friend and teacher. While we both didn't know it at the time, he was a huge contributor in making me the person and leader I am today. Because of him, I learned and developed the skills I deem necessary to be an effective leader, which are patience, good communication, and respect. I learned the importance of patience at an early age. In times of frustration or difficulty, one may be inclined to make rash decisions. However, great leaders must also have the ability to be patient when the situation calls for it. Because we live in a time that constant alerts and notifications pop up on our smartphones and computers, such immediate gratification may provoke us to want to immediately do something, but good leaders must wait. Timing is everything, so take the time to think and plan out the consequences of an action may be worthwhile in the long run.
Pivot! 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 Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Because Justin lacks verbal skills, I was able to learn how to read him and understand what was going on in his head without a word coming out of his mouth. I found this skill transcended into leadership roles I've held, as I've always been able to acknowledge when people I work with are struggling or not willing to say what's on their mind. Good communication is essential when it comes to leadership. Without being able to clearly vocalize your thoughts, ideas, and concerns, it is unlikely that one can achieve their overall goal. From playing team sports while growing up to working in group projects at school, I realized over time that if you build and sustain a great team that utilizes great communication, you can accomplish just about anything, even when it's extremely risky and difficult. I have also learned that communicating doesn't just come from one's words, but also their actions. In his TED Talk, Everyday Leadership, Drew Dudley coins a term called lollipop moments to explain how we lead through our actions and can leave an impact on the people we interact with every day without even knowing it.
Let's put life back into the magazine. And fun and laughter and silliness. I think all of us want to feel something that we've forgotten or turned our backs on, because maybe we didn't realize how much we were leaving behind.
Lastly, Justin taught me to respect everyone regardless of their disabilities, flaws, or opinions. In regard to leadership, leaders have to be respected in order to be successful, but earning the respect of others is what takes time and effort. When peers or colleagues respect you, they are more likely to work harder toward a common goal. Leaders must recognize that the people they work with aren't just a part of their team, but are people with feelings who have basic needs that must be met and nurtured in order to enhance performance.
You know what? I feel sorry for you, because you know what you're going to have on your deathbed? Nothing and no one.
As graduation approaches, I plan on using my knowledge from the Leadership Studies minor to work my way up to becoming an editor at a magazine. Through all of the coursework, I have developed a model I deem necessary to becoming successful in the journalism industry. My model would combine components of both the social change model and emotional intelligent leadership. Elle's editor-in-chief, Robbie Myers, describes the workplace as a collaborative enterprise. She said, "You have to surround yourself with good people and help them do what they do well, as opposed to micromanaging." Her quote aligns with some of the social change model's components I incorporated in my own leadership model, which include equity, self-knowledge, and collaboration. In a field that is dominated by a totem pole structure, it is important to remain leveled with those that may hold positions beneath your own. By getting to know each and every member of your team, relationships will emerge that will not only benefit your company, but your overall leadership. Regardless of what you may consider the best definition of leadership, I firmly believe that it is a culmination of variables based on one's life experiences. From role models to previous or current leadership positions held, every leader starts somewhere. In regard to the future, it is always important to remember what you are capable of and thank those who have gotten you there. With that being said, I'd like to thank the University of Maryland's Leadership Studies minor for helping me come up with my own definition of leadership and understanding of what leadership is.